Rest here for a breath where the noise fades and stories come alive. These are not just words, they're whispers of truth, calling to those who seek meaning in the quiet. If you feel pulled to tales that stir the spirit, you're home. Subscribe to dive deeper. Now let the story awaken. In a city where skyscrapers claw at the stars and neon pulses like a heartbeat, Emma carves her place with a fierce, quiet grace. A marketing executive in her mid-30s, she navigates boardrooms with a razor-sharp mind, her tailored suits and clicking heels a testament to her control. But beneath the polish lies a tremor of unrest, a hunger she can't name. Her marriage to James, an entrepreneur whose boyish grin once set her world ablaze, has cooled to embers. Their loft, with its exposed brick and floor-to-ceiling windows framing the city's restless glow, feels more like a museum of their past. James, consumed by his startup, drifts away his late nights, his guarded phone, his laughter now a rare guest. Dinners sit untouched, their conversations thin as winter air, laced with questions neither dares to voice. Emma senses a shadow in his eyes, a distance she buries under spreadsheets and deadlines. At work, Ryan, her colleague, offers a dangerous spark. His sly smiles over morning coffee, his hand brushing hers during late-night strategy sessions, ignite a warmth she thought she'd lost. Ryan's charm is effortless, a quick wit, a knowing glance that lingers too long, stirring something reckless in her chest. She pushes it down, but it hums beneath her skin, a temptation she both craves and fears. Then there's Lily, her best friend since their college days in a sleepy town where they dream under starlit skies. Now a painter, Lily's wild curls and vibrant laugh fill their wine-soaked nights with warmth. Her loft a chaos of canvases and half-finished dreams. But her silences carry weight, her eyes darting away when Emma speaks of James. Unbeknownst to Emma, Lily harbors a secret, stolen nights with James in the city's hidden corners, smoky bars, shadowed alleys, their touches of betrayal woven into the city's pulse. Lily's heart races with guilt, her paintings splashed with the reds and blacks of her turmoil, each stroke a confession she can't voice. Their lives intertwine like threads in a fragile tapestry, each pulled taut by desire. Emma's days are a balancing act, her ambition a shield against the cracks in her marriage, her laughter with Ryan a fleeting escape. James, chasing his startup success, seeks validation in Lily's arms, their affair a spark he mistakes for salvation. Lily, adrift in her art, clings to James as a tether to something real. Yet her guilt gnaws like a tide eroding the shore. The city mirrors their restlessness, its crowded streets, its flickering lights, a stage for their unspoken wants. Emma notices James's coat, heavy with the scent of jasmine, not her own. She catches his smile, too bright, aimed at his phone, not her. At work, Ryan's voice drops low, his words a caress during a late meeting, and Emma's heart betrays her with a flutter. Lily's laughter at their girls' nights falters, her eyes avoiding Emma's, her hands trembling around her wineglass. Each moment is a thread unraveling, a step toward the inevitable clash that will lay their desires bare. The story weaves through fractured moments, each a shard of desire's sharp edge. Emma notices James's late returns, his coat carrying the faint scent of jasmine, a perfume, not her own. His excuses investor dinners, coding marathons ring hollow, his smile too quick, too polished, like a mask slipping. She lies awake, the city's hum seeping through their loft's windows, her mind tracing the contours of doubt. At work, Ryan's flirtations grow bolder, his presence a dangerous balm. One evening, in the office's amber glow, he leans close, his voice a velvet whisper, sharing a joke that feels like a secret shared only with her. Emma's pulse races, torn between loyalty to James and the thrill of being seen, truly seen, after months of invisibility. She pushes it down, but the warmth lingers, an ember glowing in her chest, threatening to flare. Lily, meanwhile, paints with a feverish intensity, her loft a storm of color crimson streaks, bruised blues, each canvas a silent scream. Her guilt over James seeps into her art, her brush strokes heavy with the weight of betrayal. Their stolen moments in dimly lit bars in the back of cabs, their hands brushing under starless skies, are a fleeting refuge from her fear of fading, of being just another artist lost in the city's churn. At their girls' nights, her laughter falters, her eyes darting from Emma's gaze, her wineglass trembling in her hands. The city, with its restless pulse, mirrors their tangled hearts, each chasing a fleeting spark, a moment of feeling alive. The tension builds, slow and relentless, like a storm gathering over the skyline. It breaks at the company gala, a glittering spectacle in a ballroom draped in velvet and gold. Chandeliers cast a warm glow over silk gowns, clinking glasses, and murmured ambitions. Emma, radiant in an emerald dress that hugs her frame, feels James's distance even as he stands beside her, his hand cold, his smile distant. Across the room she hears Lily's laugh, bright, too familiar, a sound that once meant home but now cuts like glass. Her heart a drum beat, she follows it, weaving through the crowd, her breath catching as she finds them in a shadowed alcove. James's hand rests on Lily's waist, their eyes locked in a gaze too intimate, too raw. The air crackles with betrayal. The confrontation is a wound laid bare. Emma's voice, sharp with hurt, slices through the ballroom's hum. "How could you?" she asks, her eyes burning into Lily's, then James's, her words a blade forged in pain. Lily stammers, tears streaking her mascara, her defiance crumbling like ash. "I didn't mean," she begins, but her voice breaks, her hands clutching her dress. James stands frozen, his charm useless, his excuses swallowed by the crowd's gasps. Phones flash, their lenses capturing the wreckage, wife, friend, lover, exposed in a moment of searing truth. The crowd's whispers sting, a chorus of judgment, as Emma's world fractures. This clash, this raw unraveling, is a mirror of their desires, each seeking love, validation, escape, only to find pain in the grasping. This chaos, this raw tangle of hearts, reflects a deeper human struggle, one the Buddha illuminated with gentle clarity thousands of years ago. His four noble truths cut through the fog. Life is suffering, its roots lie in craving. Freedom comes from releasing that craving, and a path exists to guide us home. Emma's pain flows from clinging to James's fidelity, to Lily's loyalty, to Ryan's fleeting adoration. Each is a chain, binding her to a cycle of anguish. She grasps at James's love, wanting it to anchor her as it once did, but it slips like sand through her fingers. She holds tight to Lily's friendship, built on late-night confessions and shared dreams, only to find it fraying like a worn tapestry. Ryan's charm, a momentary thrill, promises validation but delivers only hunger. Each attachment is a thread of desire, weaving a web that traps her in turmoil. Impermanence, a cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom, whispers a quiet truth. Nothing endures. James's devotion, once her north star, shifts like the city's restless currents. Lily's loyalty, woven through years of laughter, unravels under the weight of her choices. Ryan's gaze, warm and inviting, is a mirage that fades in the light of truth. The Buddha taught that all things, love, pain, even betrayal, are fleeting, like clouds drifting across a boundless sky. To cling is to suffer, to chase shadows that dissolve upon touch. Non-attachment, often misunderstood, isn't coldness or withdrawal. It's loving without owning, holding space for life's impermanent dance. It's seeing James, Lily, Ryan as they are, flawed, searching, human, without demanding they fill the voids within her heart. Emma's drama is a mirror of our own. We chase love to feel whole, status to feel worthy, pleasure to feel alive, only to find these things slip away, leaving us hollow. Desire, the Buddha said, is a fire. Its flames burn brighter the more we feed it with our longing. To step back is not to douse the flame, but to see it for what it is, a fleeting glow, not the source of our light. This insight invites a softer way of being, where we meet life's dramas with curiosity rather than control, with openness rather than grasping. Emma's pain, born of her attachments, points to a universal truth. Suffering arises when we demand permanence from a world in constant flux. The path to peace lies not in changing others, James's choices, Lily's betrayal, Ryan's intentions, but in changing how we hold them. By loosening our grip, we create space for clarity, for a love that doesn't bind, for a peace that doesn't depend on the world bending to our will. This is the heart of letting go, not losing what we cherish, but freeing it and ourselves from the chains of need. 3 practices light a path through the storm of desire, offering Emma and anyone caught in life's dramas a way to find peace. The first is mindful awareness, a gentle pause to witness the heart's turbulence without being swept away. Emma could sit, her breath a quiet anchor, and feel her jealousy, her hurt, like clouds drifting through a vast sky, knowing they will pass. This isn't suppression, but observation, seeing emotions as waves, not the ocean itself. A daily meditation, 10 minutes at dawn as the city stirs below, becomes her refuge. She closes her eyes, lets the sounds of traffic fade, and watches her thoughts anger at Lily, longing for James without chasing them. This practice, simple yet profound, builds a space between feeling and reacting, a clarity that softens the urge to lash out or cling. It's a step toward freedom, available to anyone willing to sit with their own heart. The second practice is compassionate reflection, seeing others as mirrors of our own struggles. Emma might imagine Lily's fear of being unseen, her art a cry for meaning in a world that overlooks her. She could picture James's restlessness, his startup a desperate bid to prove his worth. Even Ryan's charm, a shield for his own insecurities, becomes human in this light. Writing their stories in a journal, not to judge but to understand, builds a bridge of empathy. Emma's pen moves across the page, tracing Lily's lonely nights, James's childhood dreams, Ryan's need to be wanted. This softens her anger, not by erasing the hurt, but by revealing shared fragility. Compassion doesn't excuse betrayal. It frees her from the poison of resentment, letting her heart breathe. Anyone can try this, pausing to see the pain behind another's actions, penning their story to find connection in the mess of human flaws. The third practice is letting go of control, releasing the need to shape others' choices or outcomes. Emma cannot fix James's wandering heart, win Ryan's fleeting affection, or punish Lily's betrayal. Instead, she can loosen her grip, trusting life's flow. Small acts weave this practice into daily life. Writing letters of forgiveness, never sent to James and Lily, pouring her pain and pardon onto paper. Offering a kind word to a barista, a smile to a stranger, shifts her focus from grasping to giving. These gestures, small as seeds, plant peace in her heart. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning love or hope. It means loving without chains, hoping without demands. For Emma, it's choosing to see James as he is, not as she needs him to be. For anyone, it's a practice of surrender, not to defeat, but to life's impermanent rhythm. These three paths, awareness, compassion, release, are not grand fixes, but quiet steps, grounded in daily choices that unravel desire's knots and invite a peace that endures. Emma begins, her steps tentative but resolute, like a traveler finding her way through fog. Each morning she sits by her loft's window, coffee steaming in her hands, the city's hum a soft lullaby below. She breathes deeply, feeling the knot in her chest, anger at Lily's betrayal, sorrow for James's distance, longing for Ryan's gaze without feeding it. Her meditation, 10 minutes stolen from the dawn, becomes a sanctuary. She watches her thoughts drift like leaves on a stream, noting her pain without chasing it, her jealousy without fueling it. This mindful pause, learned in quiet moments, steadies her heart, letting her see her emotions as passing clouds, not the sky itself. At work, Ryan's smiles, once a siren call, lose their pull. She meets them with a calm nod, her heart no longer swayed by his charm, her clarity a shield against temptation. In a leather-bound notebook, Emma practices compassionate reflection, her pen a bridge to understanding. She writes of Lily's lonely nights, painting alone in her loft, her art a cry for meaning. She traces James's dreams, his startup a fragile hope born of a childhood spent proving himself. Ryan's charm, she sees, masks a hunger to be needed. These stories, inked in candlelight, soften her anger, not erasing the hurt, but weaving it into a tapestry of shared humanity. Her empathy grows, not to excuse their choices, but to free herself from resentment's grip. She writes letters she'll never send, forgiving Lily's weakness, James's wandering, pouring her pain onto paper until it feels lighter, like a burden set down. Letting go of control becomes her quiet rebellion. Emma releases the need to fix James, to win Ryan, to punish Lily. She burns her unsent letters in a small ritual, the flames curling around her words, a symbol of surrender. She offers small kindnesses, a smile to a barista, a helping hand to a colleague, shifting her heart from grasping to giving. One evening, James speaks, his voice raw, admitting his fears, his failures, his regret over Lily. They sit on their balcony, the city's lights sprawling below, and talk not to erase the past, but to face it. Their words, halting at first, flow like a river finding its course. They choose to stay, not from desperation or need, but from a clarity born of seeing each other anew. Lily fades from their lives, her art now her solace, her canvases vibrant with her own healing. Emma's world doesn't resolve neatly, life's too raw, too real for that. Ryan remains a colleague, his allure dimmed by her peace. James and Emma rebuild, not a perfect love, but one grounded in honesty. In seeing through desire's illusion, Emma finds a peace that doesn't depend on others. It's a soft glow, born in her heart's cracks, illuminating a truth. Suffering is a choice we can unmake. If this story touched a hidden chord within you, share it. It might be the spark someone needs. Subscribe for more tailies where the everyday meets the eternal. And know this, it's often through our fractures that light pours in.